I mentioned the Hodge twins asking about civil war. Civil war is good for communists. This country fighting itself is good for the authoritarians who can then use, oligarch-style tactics of seizing control in the chaos. And this is what we see with revolutions and how totalitarian regimes rise. So I wonder if it actually would be better for us if Trump gets the upper hand, but does cut a deal that prevents some kind of national divorce or collapse. It means we don't get everything we want, but I'm hoping that it means we get enough of what we need.
The enough of what you need kind of thing, that'd be really great. I know that I've been harping on this, and I'm probably going to keep harping on it. We're really, really, really in debt. And unless we get the economy going in a way that growing in a manner which outpaces the inflation and that will only slow the problem down. That's not going to fix the problem. Like growing, like you can't, I don't think that we can actually grow our way out of this. You do have to cut, especially like entitlements, but that's the thing. It's entitlements. It has to be like the unfunded liabilities, your Social Security, the stuff that they have to pay for, not the discretionary stuff, the stuff that they have to pay for.
What?
$1 trillion every 100 days now, man. A trillion, I saw this, I tweeted this. 1 trillion seconds ago was 30,000 years before Christ. Okay, and we're putting $1 trillion every 100 days is added to our existing 35 trillion now, and over 150 trillion in unfunded liabilities.
Just real quick as an aside, if 10 years ago you were like, instead of putting $100 in the bank, I'm gonna put it in my Bitcoin account. Oh boy, you'd have a lot was it like $3,000? But at $100 10 years ago is it $3,000 in Bitcoin now? Or no, it's $6,000.
No,
it's more
than that.
What would Trump concede? I would hope he wouldn't concede like putting these people on trial for COVID, and I hope he wouldn't concede the possibility of even entertaining a bill like Massey put forward to end the Fed. That's a massive.
Trump's not going to end the Fed.
I know it's largely symbolic at this point.
Yep.
But if it starts gaining traction. As libertarianism gains traction in the public mind, I think it could happen.
And the Fed is like the shining golden star in the sky.
It's virtue signaling for libertarians. Okay, we know that. So
yeah, Trump's not going to do that.
I know. Well,
but I do think Trump may forego criminal prosecutions of higher-ranking individuals, and this is what they always do. Remember in Russiagate? They got that lawyer, what was his name, Kleinsmith? Was that who it was?
I think so.
They get some low-level lawyer on falsifying an email. And then the people who are actually running the show, having these big meetings, they get away with it. And that's a mistake Trump made. I'm hoping Trump learned his lesson. But then again, there's the possibility that Trump is looking at the collateral damage in keeping this conflict going, which ultimately results in absurdities like in 2020, the Boston Globe reporting that war game, that Democrat war game, where they suggested the West Coast secede from the Union if Trump were to win a second term. I think we want to avoid things like that at all costs, because as much as people would love that emotional satisfaction of like, let the commies leave the country.
Yeah.
The communists need to fracture the United States so they can steal power. In the chaos during revolutions, you look at how communism comes to power. They need chaos. They need fractured confidence so they can start seizing institutions.
Yeah, they did that in Tsarist Russia. That's exactly what they did.
So we in order to avoid all that, what if Trump says, I'm going to win, but it means these people go off and live on an island somewhere and they don't go to jail?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, but,
Which island do you think?
The Epstein Island.
I mean,